what's up? My name is Emily. This is my 77 Toyota Celica GT, and you're watching East Coast Garage.
How many people mistake this for an older Mustang?
A ton. All the time.
Yeah.
They see the rear first and then they walk up the side and they're very confused after that.
Yeah.
This is the 1UZ, the first gen, so stronger rods, and the timing belt brakes. You just slap one on and it keeps going.
Well, I'm glad that it doesn't have an LS motor in it because, you know, for all those that say LS swap the world, I'm just kind of over it. I'm sorry, not sorry. But a 1UZ, I mean, you keep it in the family, you know, it sounds great.
It does. It's just a raspy LS, that's all it sounds like.
Yeah, and it's just different. I mean, I like anything that's different. When you start doing the same thing over and over again, it just gets boring.
It does. It sucks though, because everything LS is so much cheaper to swap in.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do anything performance-wise to the 1U, it is ungodly expensive.
Right.
So the exhaust tips are from a 2018 Chevy Silverado. I think it really tied the look together with a V8 in it. Looks appropriate. Then we have the shadow louvers, which are really nice because you can actually lift them up and clean everything under them. Makes it super convenient. And we have the JDM tails, which are the banana tails as they call them. And I actually had to get the lenses and the bezels made because no one can afford real banana tails. But they look great. We actually added the LED strips inside, so they're super bright at night.
What transmission's in this?
W58 from a Mark IV Supra. So,
okay.
Yeah, extremely short geared.
Yeah?
Yeah. It screams at like 60, and then I have a 373 rear in it. So it's not the best combo for long drives, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not low end, so.
Do you have a hood for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks better without
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah. It opens backwards, so like anytime I took it to a show and people wanted to take pictures of it, it's like it kind of killed the whole picture, so that's the only thing that sucked. So we repainted the engine bay. It's actually Walmart spray can glitter paint. Came out really well. It's been like this for almost a year, hasn't faded, looks great. Gave it a nice touch. Then we have Koyorad radiator, essential for cooling the V8. Oil filter relocation because we didn't have the clearance to put it there and be able to tighten everything up suspension wise. All the wiring has been tucked, all the AN lines have been redone to make it look 10 times better than those ugly hoses. So I swapped out some of the lights to just kind of make them look better. I like the clear look a little better. That one, I believe, is off a old Datsun truck. Kind of just went through some things and measured my old ones to see what would pop in there and look right. And these are from a Skyline. I actually had to flip them upside down for them to look better with my car, but I think they came out pretty well. Then we have the JDM mirrors. Kind of useless, but they look great. Tying the whole look together.
And the fender mounted mirrors are factory?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Only in Japan they did.
There's no reaching out the window to adjust them.
No, I can't see out of them anyways.
Is that what the little...
Yeah, it's my inspection mirror, so
That's
I can
awesome.
see my blind spot. You gotta do what you gotta do. I had the front bumpers. The front bumper and the rear bumper are the smiley bumpers, which they had in Japan. They had the big old bulky ones here for safety reasons, and they're just hideous. So inside we got some Integra Type R Recaros. They're one of the smallest, most narrow seats I could find to actually fit inside of here, since I have not a lot of room. Also have the speed hut gauges, and they're custom, so you can see it says Toyota and Celica in the middle. If you're looking at getting gauges, I highly recommend them. They're super bright at night, and they read really well. And a cool fact is, a lot of these came from the factory with the roll bars in them. So my other Celica has one in it as well.
It rides so smooth for an old car. It's like...
Yeah, until you get to like 80, then everything shakes.
We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, everything screams at me at that speed.
Yeah.
So, no, it's definitely a fun cruiser. It wasn't meant to go 80. It wasn't meant to go 80 back in the day. I don't even know if it could have gone that fast.
Yeah, probably not.
Originally came with a 20R, which is just, I think it made like 90 horsepower. Terrible.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
that was always my goal when I was looking for one of these. Even if I found it stock, I was immediately gonna rip the motor out. So that's why when I found this one, it already had the swap done to it, and it ran and drove, but it wasn't how I would have done the car. So we drove to Texas to buy it because I couldn't find one over here that wasn't rusty. They were all rusted out, and that's one thing I didn't want to deal with, was Toyota rust of all rust. So we drove to Texas to get it and brought it back. In the front, seal was leaking, so we brought it in to address that, and it snowballed. And here we are. So we did everything that I wanted to do on it, you know, cleaned it up, cut some wiring back, really swapped all the old lines, converted them to AN lines, new exhaust. The headers were really fun to do because it's extremely close to my steering rack. But yeah, it was redoing the subframe, a whole bunch of stuff. Real fun.
Yeah.
But it came out really good, exactly how I wanted it to come out. So
That's awesome.
yeah. It was funny because it was actually cheaper to buy the car with the swap than to buy it and build it again.
Yeah, I bet. Looking on YouTube, there isn't a lot of videos out on these cars as is.
No, I don't think there's a lot of them left, to be honest. They're so rusted, and a lot of them can't be saved because, I mean, they're unibody cars. So if you get frame rot, you're done.
Right.
So it's hard to find parts for them. It's hard to fix them. They rust really bad in the trunks and the floors. I call Toyota the dampening stuff in it, I call it rust concealer. So that's what I did when I got it. I got under the carpet and I chiseled some of it out just to confirm that I didn't have any of that bad rust.
Yeah.
But it turned out good. It's funny because half the console is missing, and I actually had to like make it. I think it was broken all the way back to here. And
wow.
They were made of potato chips, so at that point I didn't want to buy one, and they're a couple $100. So.
Oh wow, yeah.
I fixed it myself.
That's cool.
But it's all about the little stuff for me. I really like how different it is.
Yeah.
And I can put my spin on it. It's just different. I love when people come talk to me about it. It just makes it fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun car. I love everything you've done to it. It's got character.
That's for sure. The guy I got it from, it was actually sitting under a carport for years after he had kind of got it done. And it was just covered in boxes and stuff. And I was like, I want to give that a home. Like, that deserves to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And in a garage. Because the rain is not nice to these things.
So what would you say to someone who's looking to buy one of these?
If they want to do a swap like this, and they actually want to do it, I'd buy just a car that doesn't have a lot of rust. Go that route. But if you want to buy one, a lot of people do beam swaps in these, which are also really fun.
Yeah.
Honestly though, if you're not too comfortable, buy one that's done. Make it your own.
Right.
I was pretty comfortable doing this before we picked it up, especially with the Toyota Lexus platform. Yeah. But again, it just depends on what your goals are. If you really want to build something, buy a clean shell and do it yourself and learn it. A lot of the old Corolla stuff, the A86 stuff, that's what my subframe is. That's what you need to do to pretty much swap any motor in it. But a lot of the stuff is interchangeable, so that helps when you want to start doing crazy stuff.
And if you want to put a V8 in it, this is my 2 cents. Don't LS swap it. Do the 1UZ. You can do a 2UZ also if you want to go a little newer. But I don't think a car like this deserves an LS motor. It kind of takes the heart out of it. But it's cool that you kept it in the family.
That's what I wanted to do. With this one, I wanted to keep the Toyota motor in it.
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate, and this car just looks like it should have came with V8.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very fitting. It throws people off too when I drive by them. Or when I start to leave somewhere,
Yeah.
they're like, what?
So you 1UZ swap this, got a manual in it. It weighs like 2,200 pounds-ish.
Yep.
Let's see what it'll do.
All right. It's fun.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's got a very nice like power to weight ratio to it.
Yeah. That's what he was saying. It's like you
Yeah.
aim it and it goes. Like there's no.
Yeah. Sounds so good.
I know, I love it. I always love the Toyotas because their V8s have such a good rasp.
Yeah.
That end rasp, it sounds so good.
Well, you bought a really cool car. I'm glad you bought this because I haven't seen anything like this around here. And it definitely adds that like the character and the uniqueness to this area.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alright, that's all I got for today's video. Shout out to Emilee for showing us her beautiful Celica, and thanks for checking this out. Please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next awesome ride I feature. Meanwhile, check out these other cool rides and have an awesome day. See you next time.